order, Matt Torchette, who got photos of it, despite a congressional demand for an investigation of machines following health concerns, the scanners will be part of a security setup in Indianapolis this weekend. And now they've moved out into the parking lots of the airports. So they're now it's just always out. Marking the first time the controversial devices have been used for a public sporting event. And they've already bought all the big mobile 18-wheelers that they've been telling you they're going to be on the streets. And Homeland Security showed interest in taser bracelets. Everyone will wear a taser bracelet when you get on the plane. They're proposing this. And you're like, oh, that'll never happen. Really, they'll never take babies' diapers off or grab colostomy bags off people or stick their hand down your pants? If you're angry about this, if you're concerned about this, go to our article at Infowars.com. It's linked in red. Go to the bottom of the article with all the documentation, and let's not just have this go moderately viral like all of our articles do. I don't want this just to be read by 200,000 people today or 300,000. Let's get 4 or 5 million. Let's do what we did a couple years ago where we pushed the TSA story out about them groping women, going in the pants, and they lied about it, and then thousands of women came forward and it blew up in their face. Let's devastate them in the info war. But only you can set this free. Only you can stomp globalist propaganda. Go to the bottom of the article, Reddit link, go to that, and vote it up to the top if you use Reddit, or sign up and use it. Now, the article's titled Full Body Scanners of Super Bowl 2012. All of you do it. Don't count on others. Freedom is not a spectator sport. It's a contact sport. Okay? It's about being on the field. This is war. This is modern info war. And we've got to adapt, improvise, and overcome. You understand that? This is war for everything. This is the new war. It's info war. Pentagon says 90% of war is info war. They point psychological warfare at you. They point it at the troops. They're declaring our own troops the enemy. Let's fight them. Go to my Twitter. If you forget the URL at the top of all of our article pages, you can see the little Twitter icon along with YouTube and the rest of it. Go to twitter.com/Real Alex Jones, and you can see our latest Twitters from myself, Alex Jones. Get this trending. Boycott the Super Bowl over their use of cancer-causing body scanners. Use Super Bowl scanners. Super Bowl scanners. Use Twitter. Now they're starting to announce they're going to start censoring. We'll see what happens here. But get in there and take what we have, pound Super Bowl scanners, one word, and then there's an article that goes with it that we just mentioned, and send it out. Send it out, retweet it to everybody, and then respond to the tweets, respond to each other's tweets. I'm going to try to respond to your tweets. Just got to do it in between breaks here. Do this. Twitter bomb now. It says text follow Real Alex Jones to 40404 in the United States. I don't know what that means, and I'm trying to learn all this in between studying everything else. Now, for you Twitter experts, hit it hard right now. Or if you've got ideas, Twitter out your own thing about the Super Bowl. The point is, let's just attack. Again, Ron Paul has won the last 2 coveted CPAC things, showing that mainline Republicans love him and that there's a fraud and that he's really winning elections. Most of the bumper stickers, most of the endorsements, the support, the most small donations, the most military donations, on and on and on. And what's happening? What's happening? They've now told him, you're not welcome at CPAC this year. You don't get to speak, because he's showing it's all rigged. By getting on the field, he makes them censor him. He makes them block him out, so you can understand how they're gatekeeping. They're controlling you like this is the old Soviet Union. They're memory holding information. So again, Real Alex Jones at Twitter, folks. Get it. Get my last 2 tweets out to everybody. Pound Super Bowl scanners. Get that trending to the top, and let's do a Reddit bomb right now. Reddit bomb the article, Full Body Scanners at Super Bowl 2012. Go to that link, bottom of the story. Get it out. There are limitless ways. I'll air more of this later in the broadcast if we have time. I got a lot of news we haven't gotten to yet. But here's Gerald Celente when I brought up to him the fact that they're now saying the MF money vaporized and disappeared. Now they're saying they found it again. They've done that about 7 times. So they're just stringing people along. They know day one where the money was wired. And they're acting like they don't know, and they're acting like Corzine didn't perjure himself, and they're acting in Congress like the Justice Department didn't perjure themselves. By the way, there is a Daily Caller article, and it's got it all in there about Justice Department paid off by Cayman Island officials and people to, of course. How do you think all these big rich billionaires are allowed to have tax shelters that you or I couldn't have? Whenever you hear about a tax shelter getting busted in the Caymans or in Switzerland, that, you know, it's some guy that put $1 million in there over 20 years. You know, some guy that owned a restaurant. That's not a rich guy. That's just a upper middle class person that makes the economy go. Who lawyers told you can put the money here. No, they only let the big boys put their billions, and it's a mafia. But let's just get to a little bit from Salente here from the Nightly News last night. Here's the basics. Gerald Salente joins us to give us his take on that and the rest of the world economy. Gerald, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Oh, it's always my pleasure being on with you, Alex.
Man, I tell you, you couldn't write this stuff in a weird science fiction attempt at satire. Kurt Vonnegut, as you know, wrote books about cartoonishly police state, absurdist future realities. This outdoes any of that, Gerald.
Well, it outdoes it, but what it is clear. It's the writing of prostitutes. Look how they use the language, vaporized. Yeah, just disappeared. It vaporized. Could you imagine if one of the white shoe boys didn't do this? How about if an Italian, somebody like, a mafia guy was caught? Oh, boy, would it be different. How about if it was somebody that they didn't like was caught? Oh, it would be a whole different story. Vaporized? It was like the Wall Street Journal's guy who wrote the story came from J.P. Morgan Chase. Alex, everybody I know in the industry knows that Corzine knew, J.P. Morgan Chase knew, everybody knew it was coming down. But look, Corzine raised, $500,000 plus recently for the Obama campaign. So it's hands off for him. Anybody that breaks the minor little infraction of the law, man, they got you and jack you dead. But not him. November, December, January, February, 4 months. 4 months this thing has been going on. Oh, we can't find $1.2 billion. Who could get away with this? Only them, and only with the help of the prostitutes.
Well, I just showed a headline where they were saying, you're just out of luck with your money. I mean, when you wire $1,000, there's a record. When you wire over $10,000, a criminal investigation is opened. He wires $1.2 billion. The head of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, as you know, comes out and says, hey, he was involved. He did give the order. But Corzine says, hey, I wasn't involved as CEO in this. I mean, and he gets caught lying, and no one gets in trouble. Obama gets caught shipping guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment. He's not getting in trouble. I mean, this is rule by criminals, Gerald. When is it going to end? How bad is it going to get? Because if they're getting away with this, hell, they might just start doing what Blackwater did in Iraq, according to federal documents, just shooting people for fun. I mean, why not? I mean, maybe Corzine will show up at your door with a crap sandwich and make you eat it. I mean, he's God, I guess.
Well, again, and he's not alone here. This is from the Financial Times, just on the 30th, January 30th. Moody's, quote, did not understand $6.3 billion MF Global bet on European debt. Moody's Investor Services did not have any understanding that MF Global, the failed futures broker, had placed a $6.3 billion proprietary bet on the debt of troubled European sovereigns until about a week before the brokerage filed for bankruptcy. Moody's, these are the people that rated all of that junk AAA. These are supposed to be the rating agencies. Oh, we didn't have an understanding. It's all a fix. The whole game is rigged, and they're screwing every one of us. Look how they get away with that kind of crap. And listen, Alex, as you know, that's why I believe that President Obama signed into law the National Defense Authorization Act. So now it allows the military to take out people like you and me who complain.
All right.
Because
absolutely,
the whole thing is crashing down, as you said.
That's why they're doing it, so they can rob us.
We're on the march.
You have found it. The tip of the spear in the info war. Our desperate attempt to awaken humanity to the scientific dictatorship being built around us. We have had incredible success thanks to God and your actions. And as evil expands, good is also rising to meet it. What's the verse in the Bible? When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against it. The question is, are you part of that standard? Which side do you choose? The establishment churches have been overtaken by the New World Order. They are telling everybody to lay down and serve the globalists, to not be involved. They're paid off on record by Homeland Security, just as they've been in communist China and Russia. And Europe as well. Google is openly saying they will censor websites and blogs anytime a government requests, including the United States government. The U.S. government is issuing takedown notices saying, quote, the site has been critical of government. Think of the magnitude of that. And in the face of this censorship, we are trying to expose naked body scanners at the Super Bowl, groping of your children, slave training. So at the bottom of our article, full body scanners at Super Bowl, it's red linked on Infowars.com. You can also find the article on the right-hand side of DrudgeReport.com and other fine websites out there. Get it. Go to the bottom, and we're going to do a Reddit bomb, also a gigantic website reaching millions a day. We want to send it to #1. We're testing a new weapon in the info war, the Reddit bomb. And doing Reddit a favor, sending them a bunch of traffic. And they'll do us a favor of it going to the top. Let's see how that works. Go to that link and vote it up. Also, we are doing a Twitter bomb here. You go to my Twitter, Alex Jones. You go to twitter.com/RealAlexJones. Twitter's now saying they're going to start censoring, so let's fight back against that. And do pound Super Bowl scanners. Copy our term, and let's send it viral, trending to the top. Get this trending. Boycott the Super Bowl over their use of cancer-causing body scanners. Use pound Super Bowl scanners. Do it now. And also as a link to the articles. People will learn more about this total takeover of society. Now we're going to go to our guest in a moment, Weldon, who runs the back office area and shipping. We have come up with a Got Liberty shirt. That is the Liberty Bell with Infowars.com under it. Very handsome. It says Proclaim Liberty, and it's got in big words, Got Liberty. So we're also going to come out with some shirts that say Legalize Freedom. We already have one that says that, but a lot of new T-shirts at Infowars.com. If you want to meet like-minded people, believe me, you wear a Got Liberty Infowars.com shirt, you're going to find a lot of like-minded people in your area. And then it's just black on the back. Also, we printed a few thousand of this book, and the way it's going, we're going to have to reprint soon. I am not the publisher of this book, but I did work with Fritz to, I guess, advance him the money so he could print a whole bunch of these with a big printer and not an on-demand. That way the author can actually